Hello, this is Cynthia Fick, and this is the February 11th stock market update. Well, some of you know I was under the weather last week and now I'm back and getting back in the office and feeling better this week. So let's talk about what's been going on in the market. It's been kind of interesting now. I'm going to go to the charts. A lot of times I'll say things like, we're going to let the market show us what it wants to do. And here's the kind of things that I'm watching and waiting for. Okay, so we'll go back and we'll look at 2021 through 2025. And then I'm going to compare that to different periods of time in the market where we were going to have a bigger pullback. Because I think that's kind of the question on everybody's mind, with potential Trump tariffs and all the uncertainties and interest rates and inflation kind of popping up again. Is the market going to be able to keep going up, or is it time for us to have a pullback, or is it time for us to have a big pullback? And that's what's kind of on everybody's mind right now. So let's look and see the charts in front of us, because that's all we can look at. We can't project in the future. We can't, we don't have a crystal ball. But here's the things I look at when making determinations on what the health of the stock market. So let's look at this. This is a chart of the S&P 500 going back to 2021 through today, 2025. Okay, so this shows you almost to the penny, January 2022. The stock market started to go down. Now, if you look at these charts, this is the price of the S&P 500, and these are moving averages. These are the lines that we watch carefully. I'm always saying I want the market to hold at certain levels, and these are the levels I'm talking about, the moving averages. So when a market decides it wants to go down, and this was a 35% drop in the S&P 500, the market will go from healthy, moving upward, to starting to break into some of these moving averages, and then kind of a breakdown. It usually gives you a signal that it's going to have a bigger pullback. So here's what happened in 2023. The stock market started going up. So a lot of people are saying right now, how could the stock market possibly go up for a third year in a row? We had a good 2023. We had a good 2024. How can we have a good 2025? Well, 2023 was just really breaking, coming back to breaking even. The market was just going back to where it was in the end of 2021. And then 2024 was really when it first started actually going up. Again, a good year. So that's a picture. We're well above all these pullbacks we had, and we did have two almost 10% pullbacks last year, believe it or not. And we stayed nicely above these moving averages. So this is what we're always watching for. Is it going to become a bigger deal when it doesn't hold at these levels and it starts breaking down into these other averages? So let's go back and look at some periods of time when the stock market was going to have a bigger pullback and what it looked like. Let's compare it to today and see if it looks anything alike. Okay. Here we go. Here we go back to 1972 and 1974. You can see these are all the moving averages that we were just looking at. Okay, so the market was trading nicely above those, and in the beginning of 1973, it started breaking through them majorly. Instead of being nicely spaced out like they are here, they all consolidated and started to go down. So this, there was a clue. You had a clue that the market was, perhaps going to have a pullback, maybe of a bigger kind. And here is where we see it. This is when it broke through that 200 moving day average, which I told you is a very big deal. And it was just kind of downhill. This is, all the, pullbacks I'm going to show you are at least 40 to 50% in nature. Okay, so this is what we're all afraid of. Is this going to happen? Does today's market look anything like this? So this is 1972 to 1974. We had a signal that the market was going to go down. Here's 1999 to 2002. Same thing here. The market was trading up, and then all of a sudden broke through that 200-day moving average and just kept going down. So that's another big downturn, 40, 50% in the S&P 500, 1999 to 2002. The third time, most recently, this happened, 2007 to 2009. Again, the stock market was trading nicely above all these moving averages, and then we kind of busted through the 200-day moving average, and you can see the party was kind of over there also. This is another drop of 40 to 50%. So I guess the concern, the fear that's on everybody's mind is that what's going to happen in 2025. And one thing I can guarantee you is that we're going to have a 10% correction. That happens every year. So that's not unusual, but will it turn into something bigger like this, down 40 to 50%? The answer is right now, no. That's not what the stock charts are showing us. And let me show you what it looks like right now. This very same moving averages. So here's 2024 to 2025. And so here are all those moving averages that we just saw. Now, again, these are the important levels that I'm talking about at holding. And, you know, for it to really start falling apart, the market would need to start breaking down and going way into these levels, piercing this moving average at the bottom, the black line, and then we'd know, hey, this normal, healthy correction that we're having could become a bigger deal. So, you know, that would be at this point busting from, you know, over 6,000 down to the 55.25 level, something like that. So these averages, of course, change over time. But so looking at the stock market, the chart in front of us, we are nowhere near those levels right now. This is what I'm watching. If we start to break down into some of these moving averages, we'll be, you know, getting a little cautious. But are we going to have a major breakdown and go down 40 to 50%? I just don't see it right now. It's not in the charts, but this is what I'm watching. Okay. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot predict the future. All I can do is trade the chart that is in front of me. So far, S&P 500 is looking strong, amazingly strong in spite of these tariffs. A lot of people think that Trump's tariff threats are more bark than bite, kind of a negotiation tactic, and they may very well be. But anyway, this is what we're looking at. When I always say I'm letting the market show me what it wants to do, and I'm waiting for certain levels to hold or break, this is what I'm talking about. So in the next stock market updates, we'll be talking about sectors and which sectors look like they're going to be leading the market this year. It's been a little confusing as there's some new sectors starting to do better, financials, industrials. Those things are starting to do better, but is that really a shift in that direction or just a momentary blip on the screen? So we'll be discussing more of that in the future, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.